we need to bring to you here on the Joy News channel. We're taking you now to Parliament, where the debate is underway about the controversial LGBT or anti-LGBT or gay bill is underway. Roxy Nelson Dapiamakwa on the floor of the House. Let's listen.
When you travel, you are taken out of the line and check for nearly an hour or two. You can't even change currencies. We are aware, as sponsors, we've been profiled. But we are willing to face the consequences. And I want to urge every member of this House that there are consequences coming. But as a nation and as a House, we must stand together. Mr. Speaker, we are not alone as a nation in this. Uganda, our sister nation, has trodden this path. And we will follow them. Mr. Speaker, the point we are making is that, like petty crimes, like normal crimes in society, we can't stop it. But we will check it. We will check this lifestyle from spreading. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I thank you for the opportunity. And I want to thank especially a lot of stakeholders have been thanked. But Mrs. Fuamoni and my lecturer in law, Dr. Ayini, the committee, but he found time at his own expense and help the committee to deliberate on the bill. So, Mr. Speaker, we thank them. And again, we are calling upon them to help us at the consideration stage so that this bill will stand the test of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The last person I'll call before leadership is Honorable Dambotri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important bill. I will wish we didn't witness some of the scenes. Mr. Speaker, a lot has been said. I do not intend repeating or rehashing them. But, Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important matter. Mr. Speaker, page 5 of the report, object of the bill. The object of the bill is as contained in the memorandum accompanying the bill is to provide for proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values, proscribe LGBTQ+ and related activities, proscribe propaganda of advocacy for or promotion of, and they have a long thing, LGBTQI+Bill and all that. Mr. Speaker, it's important we focus on this matter. A lot has been said. We have quoted from the Holy Bible, we have quoted from the Holy Quran, we have laid emphasis on our cultural, our moral values as a nation. Very well articulated by honorable members. But, Mr. Speaker, I want us to draw attention to this. All that has been said is known. It's been in the Bible all these years. It's been in the Holy Quran all these years. Our moral values are known. But why are we now expecting to expand what is in our laws and then bring such an important bill and pass it to law? Why? It is because of the promotion and advocacy of those who believe in this madness. That is the issue. That, for me, is the issue, Mr. Speaker. The issue is not repeating that homosexual is madness. It is total madness. The issue is not, it's against our culture. It's important. Let's repeat it. Let's remind our people. I agree 100%. But I'm saying that the danger is the promotion and the subtle one. That is why in this report, the committee did very well to talk about what is happening in Hungary. Right, Honourable Speaker. Paragraph 77.2. They say that Hungary anti-LGBTQ legislation is targeted at children, even though they say below 18 years. Yeah. Adults are allowed to engage in same-sex marriage. But they say this. The key elements in the Hungary legislation are the prohibition of all forms of advertising, publication, and public education which purpose to propagate or portray divergence from self-identity corresponding to sex at birth. Right, Honourable Speaker, honourable members. For me, this is the danger, because you may have a teacher in your child's school who may subtly be promoting this. Don't say he, don't say she, don't say this, and subtly they'll be doing that. What about shops? Who will be using all these gay colors? And so you have a baby, you are going to buy a diaper, and there's a color on it. These are the subtle, dangerous things that beyond passing this bill, what we do as a nation. I was so happy when Right Honourable Speaker asked the question that if there's anybody against this bill, he should speak. And for the first time, all 125 members of Parliament, of Ghana's Parliament, we are supporting this bill. And that is known. But let's go even beyond the passage of this bill. Because others have described this as madness. I will add that it's a satanic force. And let's not underestimate this satanic force. They will come to us and participate in so many ways. And for me, therefore, the bill is passed. I mean, it's law. And we are passing it. I was advocating that we should really spend 30 minutes and let it be said that when this thing came to Parliament of Ghana, within 30 minutes, we agreed and passed it. That's what we should have done. But I can understand people who all want to contribute, so we are taking some time to contribute. But I'm saying that beyond this, again, I'm referring to page 16 of the report. In quoting what happened in Hungary, under the legislation, parents have the sole right and responsibility for the emotional, physical, and spiritual development of their child. And it is so important to continue on this path, especially the propagation. Somebody can be on a radio station and he can pass a certain comment. He may not blatantly be promoting LGBTQ, but they will find a way of still trying to indoctrinate the society, especially our children. I am saying that we may not be able to capture everything maybe in the bill, but there should be a conscious effort on the part of society. Let us not just celebrate the passage of this bill into law, but beyond that, there should be eternal vigilance, because, Mr. Speaker, it goes against everything of our society. And we should exercise eternal vigilance to make sure that all that we have said, this bill is passed into law. It will be done, or it is done. But beyond that, let us exercise eternal vigilance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very, very much. Honorable former Majority Leader, I'm watching my time. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Please, let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have just 2 concerns or observations to make, and it's going to be different from the arguments that we have canvassed this afternoon or evening. But before I mention them, Mr. Speaker, let me put on record my commendation and gratitude to the honourable members who had the vision and the determination to bring this private members' bill to Parliament. It has involved a lot of hard work on their part, a lot of research and sacrifices. And I think that we need to commend the honourable members who have been able to bring this bill. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, let me also place on record the gratitude of myself to the Speakership for the support that you have given to this bill and have brought it this far. Now, my first observation is this, that this bill has a national appeal. This bill has attracted the attention of everybody in Ghana. And this bill is dedicated to protecting the values of the Ghanaian families, etc. So, against that background, I thought that that background and the interest that we have gathered, this afternoon we heard that all the 275 members of Parliament in this August House support the bill. So therefore, we all support it. Against this background, I thought that it would have been very useful for the government, the President, to adopt the bill, to link up with the honourable members who are bringing this private members' bill, having regard to the challenges associated with private members' bills, which I will show shortly, and then to have adopted this bill with the consent of these honourable members. If they had done so, then the perception by some people that, oh, the President or the government of the day is not interested in this bill and the rest of them would have been matters of the past. It wouldn't have arisen at all. But we haven't done that. And Mr. Speaker, I'm saying so more so against the backdrop of the Attorney General's advice we wrote to the committee in October last year. The Attorney General's advice or document is dated 19th October 2022 that he wrote to this August House. And then at page 17, in his conclusion, page 17, item 2, he said, the bill is a private member's bill, subject to Article 108 of the Constitution. A private member's bill should not, for purposes of Article 108 of the Constitution, have any financial implications on government. However, the bill is indicative of financial implications, unquote. That this bill is indicative of financial implications. This is what he said. Against this background, Mr. Speaker, if we do not resolve it and we pass it into law, then the technicalities, the legal implications will come to play. That yes, you pass the law, but we cannot implement it because it has financial implications. It will undermine the work, the industry that we have put into this bill. That is why I'm drawing the attention of government that we should not wait until we pass the law and cannot implement it. They should at the end of the day adopt this and then make sure that we implement it. Because we have so many institutions in Ghana with good laws and yet lack of resources, they cannot implement them. That is the more reason why I said that they should have done so. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying so more so in 2012, when late President Mill was in office, American delegation from Congress came and they visited him. And they asked him whether they would not pass a law legalizing gayism and lesbianism. He said that under his leadership, Ghana will never do such a thing. That was very positive. Everybody understood it. And if the government of the day had done the same thing by adopting this bill, I think that it would have solved some of the perceptions that they have had. And lastly, if you look at the object of the bill, I will argue this during the time of the consideration stage. The object of the bill. It is something that I think that we should be looking at. I want to thank you for the opportunity given me. Commend the private members for this motion, and so everybody for the support.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'll now come to leadership. Leadership, can I control your time? If I'm permitted, then I'll give 5 minutes to each leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I must also thank the distinguished minority leader for giving me the opportunity to speak on his behalf. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I was a bit sad but God will always be God. What just happened here is what is happening outside the chamber. And therefore, the problem or the defect that the passage of this bill seeks to cure is what we have seen here. Mr. Speaker, what am I saying? There are no timelines that can work with by 100 years, 200 years. LGBTQ bill this is going to be a right. No, there can never be a timeline. And let nobody there put a timeline. Mr. Speaker, I must also continue from where the veteran former majority leader ended. That His Excellency the President should have considered adopting this bill to be a government bill. Mr. Speaker, this is not the first of its kind. During the third Parliament, and that was during the reign of His Excellency John Ajekun Kufuor, the Institute of Economic Affairs initiated a private members bill, same like this, and that was to cure a defect in relation to domestic violence bill. His Excellency adopted that bill from Mr. Speaker,
Honorable member, address me, and you have
former President John Ajekun Kufuor, seeing very well that what was started as a private members bill, and that is the domestic violence and victim support bill, was for the good of the country. He adopted it from Institute of Economic Affairs, that is IEA, and it became a government bill. And that is what we now have as a Domestic Violence Act. So, Mr. Speaker, why am I saying this? It has happened before. There's precedence. And therefore, seeing that there's a consensus in this House, almost all the 275 MPs are speaking in support of this bill. Mr. Speaker, we should not further belabor the point. It must cease to be from a private members bill and become a government bill, so that everybody will have the confidence. Mr. Speaker, why are we here? We are representing the good people outside this chamber. We are representatives. And tell me which MP sitting here will go to his constituency and they will not urge him to come and make sure that this law pass through. Mr. Speaker, I've gone through the report. And if you look at the argument against the bill, what they are saying is that, inclusive society promoted, and therefore this LGBTQ is a portion of the right of democracy. Mr. Speaker, if when we were passing the 1992 constitution in this country, when Ghana went into a referendum, the Ghanaian public were told that we were going to practice constitutional rule, and that LGBTQ was going to be part of the rights. Mr. Speaker, I bet you this constitution wouldn't have seen the light of the day. This is not what we told them. We told them we were coming to protect their values and rights and all those things. We were coming to make sure that the rights of the weaker ones were protected, but not to accept LGBTQ. Listen, Mr. Speaker, even here, when somebody is being mentioned that you can see what will happen here. Nobody wants to associate with it. So, why is it that nobody is even feeling free? If you even to mention its name, people are scared. So, the bill must go through, and I do totally agree with the honorable minority when he said the committee should have agreed that the bill be passed under Order 119. That's under certificate of urgency. I agree with you, Mr. Speaker, but we cannot debate this bill without recognizing the valuable contribution of the initiators of the bill. I've gone through the report and what the committee has written. Mr. Speaker, how did the bill begin? It began by the prominent personality, Apostle Professor Opoku Yina, the former chairman of the Church of Pentecost. Pentecost. And lawyer For Amani, For Amani is the General Secretary of the coalition, and Apostle Professor Pokunyina was the chairman of the coalition. They saw the need that no, what was happening in the country was not in good taste, and therefore something must be done about it. They organized themselves into coalition and then throw a helping hand and reach out to the president of the Parliamentary Christian Fellowship, that's Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Beja. That is how the link began. So when you present a report and Apostle Professor Pokunyina name is not even mentioned anywhere, I'm mentioning IEA today because I was in university by then and I was following parliamentary proceedings. So you cannot talk of domestic support bill without mentioning IEA. So coalition is mentioned, but the distinguished clergy seated up there and the imams and chiefs seated there, the traditional rulers are here, the imams are here, and the clergy from all the various churches are here. No single church has separated themselves or disassociated themselves from this bill. Mr. Speaker, who do we represent? We represent the Muslim community, the Christian community, the traditional rulers, and all those people. And almost all of them are saying that this is what they want. How can you go against? You can't. So, Mr. Speaker, yes, Mr. Speaker, I know. My little worry is that I will call on His Excellency the President. When I went through those who are against the passage of the bill, I saw the Ghana AIDS Commission. Mr. Speaker, we passed a budget here. The budget of the Ghana AIDS Commission is an OGM, Office of Government Machinery. We gave them budget, and they fall under the Office of the President. The Chief of Staff supervises them. So they could not engage in such activities, and the Chief of Staff must call the Ghana AIDS Commission to order. They dare not. We are using the taxes from the good people of Ghana to give them their budget. So if Ghanaians who are paying the taxes say this is what we want and we want to do it for them, they should then not speak against. They are saying that it will go against their effort in fighting HIV because they receive international stipends and Africa. The budget we give them must be enough. The budget we pass for them must be enough. And therefore, I didn't see it when it was happening. I would have written to the Chief of Staff that they dare not bring the office of the President into this. And I know we are passing this. It must receive presidential assent. And that's why I'm going in this way. Mr. Speaker, our effort must not be in vain. The clergy have been here from morning till this time. All those who initiated it have been here and they are watching what we do. And thank God, members of Parliament have spoken the way they have. Well researched, I listened to the scientific analysis from Honorable St. George. Mr. Speaker, I'm well convinced. And I've consulted the veteran minority leader who said the committee contacted him to do the fiscal impact analysis, and that there is no negative fiscal impact on this bill. He has informed the committee like that. So the fear that when we pass the bill is going to have some kind of impact on the consolidated fund or on our finances, Mr. Speaker, is neither here nor there. The Speaker, is not there. Having spoken this way and having sensed the collective wisdom of this House that almost everybody is for it, Mr. Speaker, I will not prolong matters and I will not belabor the point. But I know the President of the Parliamentary Christian Fellowship, Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Beja, who connected Parliament to the coalition in giving birth to this, will be given the opportunity, because the names are not written here, to mention the individual names and thank them for their effort. Some gave their offices, some gave their resources, some devoted their technical expertise. And if it is not well written here, Mr. Speaker, you must give the mover of the motion the President opportunity to give them a befitting appreciation. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity given me. May God bless us all.
Thank you very much. Let me finally listen to the majority leadership. Honorable Fenyamakins, you are seated to the chairman. Very well. Chairman, then you do the conclusion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I would want to use this opportunity to thank each and every member of the House. Mr. Speaker, I had already expressed my appreciation to I have already...
Honorable, hold on. Is this the first time that a leader is ceding his... It doesn't matter. You do not determine what is important. Honorable leadership leader, honorable leader of committee leader, let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, I am the chair of Constitutional Legal. We presented a report and members have commented on the report. It is only fair to conclude on the report. And I would want to reiterate the thanksgiving that I had already expressed to the sponsors of the bill and all members of the committee. We started this earlier before, and we have spent more than 3 or 4 hours on this. And I'm sure members will appreciate the fact that when this bill seemed to have delayed a bit, we were preparing to bring the best to the House. There are 1 or 2 that I would want to comment on. The wise man has said that the President should have adopted this bill. It is not for nothing that Honorable Mike Okwe initiated and pushed for private members' bill. And this had been continued by the present Speaker, Honorable Aban Babin. It is not everything that the government may be able to prosecute, and that's why the private members' bill is there. Again, if a private members' bill is passed in this House, it is for the benefit of the whole nation and not on one individual. Members have also mentioned that we had a meeting with the Attorney General. The Attorney General wrote and gave us his opinion on the bill, and the members of the committee, we unanimously agreed and held a meeting with the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. He came and advised the committee that there was nothing wrong against what we have agreed upon, and it was constitutional, and that this bill could go ahead. I also heard another person say that the Ghana AIDS Commission had said something that was not in support of this. We cannot be saying everything that was said at the committee here. People that had stood against that came with suggestions. They advised the committee. People that spoke in favor of that, they came with their proposals. In all of that, the committee met, we deliberated, and the committee is of the view that we should proceed and pass this bill. So the most important thing, and why I'm thanking everybody, is that in this House, everybody had agreed with us that we unanimously pass this bill. So, Mr. Speaker, I am very grateful for giving me the opportunity. Safe to say that the Honorable Aban Babin, Mr. Speaker, that he will do some referral back to the committee, and I promise that the committee will work on it expeditiously so that the House will proceed for the consideration and pass this into the Act. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, since this is a private member bill, I'll give the mover of the motion, which in this case can be equated to the minister if it were to be a public.
Thank you very much.
So, Honourable Bejura, I'll give you 2 minutes to conclude and thank members for their contributions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and also to thank, first of all, to thank all the members, the 275 members of Parliament, for supporting this bill. Mr. Speaker, we the members and promoters of this bill could not have done this without the support of the Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Sumana Alban Kingsford Babin, and the 2 deputy speakers who supported. In fact, the Right Honourable Speaker has gone through a lot because of this bill. His pronouncement, both within and outside the country, has endangered some debates outside the country, and we want to thank him sincerely for having courage to speak for this bill. We also want to thank, Mr. Speaker, the coalition for proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family value. That comprises of, Mr. Speaker, civil society organizations and Christian and para-Christian bodies, religious including Pentecostal Council, Charismatic Council, the coalition of Muslim organizations, the Chief Imam's Office, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Advocates for Christ, the National House of Chiefs, and all opinion leaders who have supported us in this venture. Mr. Speaker, let me also mention the former Speaker of Parliament, Reverend Michael Quay, who allowed us initially to make statements regarding the menace of LGBTQI in this country. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank everybody. Today I was expecting at least 2 or 3 people from this House to say that this did not support the bill. But it has come to pass that everybody, the 275, including the Speaker who is presiding today, supporting this bill, because he's been asking me that today you wanted to contribute, but unfortunately you are sitting there so you cannot contribute. Mr. Speaker, finally, because I was not able to contribute, I brought 2 materials. They are all science books. In fact, one is Black Star Series, Integrated Science for Senior High Schools on Biology. Then I have Oxford, Cambridge, IGCSE O-Level Complete Biology. Mr. Speaker, this is, and the authors are Ron Pickering, David Hantidale, and Matamath for the Oxford, Cambridge, IGCSE. And for the Black Star Series, I have Isaac Gallon, Jojo Moses Egan, Kweku Braku Dakwa, Joseph Ousu Sekre, and Rafino Zugle. Mr. Speaker, in this book, it is all about biology, and it's about natural sequences. There is no artificial, there is no unnatural sequences in this book. All they are saying is that there is a chromosome, and in that chromosome, you have X and Y for male, X and X for female. That makes you a natural human being. You are either a female or you are a male. There is no middle way. Thank you all for giving.
Thank you very much, and let him thank all of you. Honourable members, as I said, we would like to employ members that at least for this particular bill, we move together. And therefore, all the insinuations, innuendos, vilifications, and the like must cease, so that you'll be able to move together. On that note, whatever Honorable Mutala said, if the records captured, I direct that is a sponge. In a similar way, whatever Honorable Osla Osu said, if it was also captured on our records, I direct that those records are a sponge. I so direct. Honorable members, I'll therefore have a singular honor to put the question. And the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion listed in today's order paper 18, item listed 18, all those in favor of the motion say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, it is obvious the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
I'm asked to provide for proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values, proscribe LGBTQ+ and related activities, proscribe propaganda of advocacy for or promotion of LGBTQIA+, and related activities, provide for the protection of and support for children, persons who are victims or accused of LGBTQIA+, and related activities, and other persons and related matters.
Honorable members, the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian Value Bill 2021 is accordingly read a second time. Yes, leadership.
Let's proceed to consideration.
Yes, leadership.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Health has been with us since morning. The Minister of Health has been with us since morning. So, if you'll be pleased, we move to item 6.
Mr. Speaker,
yes,
our colleague, the Health Minister, indeed, has been in the House since morning in anticipation of responding to colleagues' questions. I think it's fair for us to give him the opportunity to respond to the questions posed by colleagues. Yes, maybe, Mr. Speaker, you can limit the
questions to the questioners.
Yeah, the question to the questioners, and then
it depends. If it's
maybe only one supplementary question.
Leadership, can't we put this questions to tomorrow? I mean, if
I think we are in your hand. It's just an application we are making to you.
Time is honorable members. Obviously, you are in my hands, and honorable minister, I will ask you to come tomorrow. You are a member of the House, so you are part of us. We are tied. On that note, I'll proceed to adjourn the House to tomorrow 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Tomorrow 10 o'clock in the forenoon. But let me thank all of you for your cooperation. The House stands adjourned.
Also, it's now confirmed that the anti-LGBTQ+ bill has been read for the second time. The committee's report adopted. We'll wait to see what the ensuing matters will be. You're watching us here on the Pulse on the Joy News channel. We'll be right back.